listening to KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown, and we welcome you to our program. And this program is designed to inspire you to challenge yourself, to grow, to get out of your comfort zone, to live your greatest life. And we talk about a variety of things and engage you in a conversation. And here's something I'm really curious about. I get an opportunity to speak to a lot of organizations and corporations, and I've been speaking to one recently that the thoughts that I shared with them, something I want to share with you. But before I do that, I want to just share with you something that's in the news about in a couple of months, the class of 2011 is about to graduate, and they're entering a whole different world than what graduates entered 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or even 1 year ago. Forbes magazine took a look at this group and examined what employers need to know and how they look for work and what they want out of work and how they plan to search. And while the millennials are very savvy social media users and communicators, it turns out only around 37% of them are using those sites as a primary source for their job hunt. The majority are still exercising the old-fashioned approaches. 88% said that they plan to go straight to the source and submit an application directly to the company. Now, 28% will search for jobs in the newspaper. Now, that doesn't mean they're completely neglecting sites like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter in the job search process. It's important for companies to be present across all job search platforms. Though social media sites aren't the primary tool for job searches among students, there's a noticeable and significant shift in that direction. Now, researchers say it's time for companies to become more aligned to where candidates want to look and what they are looking for. Now, what's most important, the survey also asked students what's most important to them when making a decision of where to work. Well, more than half said salary, but that wasn't the winner. The majority, 55% of the students, value career advancement opportunities. So when we look at that, I was speaking to a group recently. I remember, and I said to them, when I was a kid, you can go to the grocery store with $25 and buy enough groceries for a whole week. So, you know, that was when Jesus walked the earth, okay? You know that had to be a long time, all right? Now, I said there was a time in the workplace when you can say, when somebody asks you to do something, you could say, that's not in my job description. I don't do that. But it's a different day. That we're in a global economy. There's no such thing as that's not in your job description. You've got to do what's required. And so what I'm asking, what is it that you had to do today when you look at yourself and making yourself viable and having value? What are the changes that you had to make to tackle the hurdles? What challenges that you have to overcome in order for you to be employable, in order for someone to look at you as a viable candidate for a particular job? What gave you the competitive edge? What works? That's what we really want to know. What's working today when you're going out into the workplace? If you're looking for a job today and you've landed an ideal job, something that you wanted and you competed with other people, what gave you that edge? Curious, like to know that. I want to hear the story around that, because what we want to do is focus on the things that people are doing right now, because today you have to be flexible, you have to be adaptable, you have to be versatile, more so than ever before. You can't stop learning. You have to run just to stand still. And so as we look at what does it take to make it today in today's workplace? How do you make yourself competitive? How you keep on the edge? How do you get that and land that position or that job that you're looking for? How do you compete in the marketplace against so much diversity, so many young people that's out there bringing so many degrees and seniors and people with years of experience bringing experience and credentials and all kind of background with them? How do you make yourself stand out in that kind of situation, in that kind of environment? How do you begin to tackle the hurdles and the challenges that are facing you when you want to make it today, when you're searching for that job, that place where you want to be. We want to know what your game plan and your strategy. How did you get in? How did you get over? Aretha Franklin had a song years ago, a gospel song, How I Got Over. Sometimes I look back and I wonder how I got over. Yes, how did you get over? That's what we want to know. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. One of the people that I admire very much now, speaking to this group of realtors and people who own mortgage companies, that really impressed me. He said there was a time that he could prospect, and the number of people that he called on in the old economy is now quadrupled. The same number of people, he can't do that. The number of people that he used to work with in his office is now been cut down from over 100 agents, is now down to around 30. It's mean and lean. And he says, and the difference is the people that are still in the game are the true professionals, the people that are knowledgeable, who kept their pipeline full. There's never been a line to make cold calls. People that are relentless, who continue to upgrade their skills, who are looking for the best practices in implementing and executing on those practices, who are building relationships rather than teaching and rather than treating customers like transactions. These are a different breed. It's a different kind of mindset in order to make it today. I told them about a woman who became the dominant player in her industry. And this industry, where men had been dominating it for years, she is now the top player. She's the top performer. And in a news conference, she was asked, how did you get here? What is it that you did that allowed you as a female to be the number one producer and generating the kind of income that you are now generating? And she said, it is not our intention to please our customers or to satisfy our customers. Our intention is to amaze them. That's how we compete. We look for ways, because of our knowledge, because of the way in we execute, and because of the way in which we develop our whole strategy in taking care of our customers, we amaze them with the quality of the service that we provide. That's what has given us the competitive edge in the marketplace. The number to call is 888-539-2980. What is your edge? What is it that you do? What's your method? What's your process? What game plan have you implemented that has given you the edge so that someone would look at you and pick you out of everybody else? What is it that makes you stand out? My name is Les Brown. We want to hear from you. The number to call is 888-539-2980. Want to know that? Want to hear how you ever overcame the hurdles? What are the things you had to tackle? How is it you had to change yourself or reinvent yourself in order to be where you are right now? The number to call is 888-539-2980. Somebody's going to get a breakthrough. 888-539-2980. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.